will be teaching you today multiplying and perhaps dividing. It depends on how long we are going to do this. So hopefully you will enjoy it, and we will start with some basics of multiplying. So what multiplying basically means. It is, for example, 2 times 2, and it is 4 because you have 2 times number 2. It's basically like adding we did in the previous video. So you have 1, 2 plus 1, 2. And if it was 3 times 2, you would have 2, 2, 2. And it would be basically like 2 plus 2 plus 2, which is 6. So multiplying is basically kind of adding the number to itself the times there is the other number. Okay, hopefully this made sense. So we have some rules that we will have to imply when it comes to multiplying and that we have to kind of follow. So the first rule that we have is any number times 0 is always 0. I would say that this is sort of self-explanatory, because if you don't have the number like anytime, you don't have it. It's not there once, it's there 0 times, so it's not there basically. So there cannot be any result. So if you have, for example, 2 times 0, it is 0. If you have 0 times 6, still 0. Another rule would be, I can actually even show you written, or perhaps you don't even need it. Yeah, you don't need it. I think that's really easy to understand. Alright, so any number times 1 is always the same number. So if you have 6 times 1, it is still 6. If you have 1264 times 1, it is still 1264, because you have it there just once. Okay, then we have if you have a number and you multiply it by 10, you just add a 0 to the result. So if you have 6 times 10, it is 6 plus 0 basically, so 60. This goes every time. If you have 10 times 10, you have 10, and you will add another 0 on the end, and it's 100. Very easy again. Now the next line or the next statement is the order of the factors does not affect the products or the product. So it doesn't matter if you have 2 times 4 times 8 times 6. It doesn't matter if you will go from the end. It is still, when there is only multiplying in the equation, it doesn't matter with which you will start. If it's perhaps easier for you to, if you have 6 times 9 times 2, and if it's easier for you to just do 2 times 9 as first, or 2 times 6, feel free to do so. It really does not matter. In this specific occasion, when you have only multiplying together, then we have products are always positive, which is products as result basically. Products are always positive when multiplying numbers with same signs. So if we have 2 times 2, it is positive 4. But if you have 2 times or minus 2 times minus 2, it will give you positive numbers. Basically, the negative factor will kind of cross itself out and will just go away, and the number will be positive. However, if you have positive with negative charge, it will always end negative. So if we have minus 2 times positive 2, it is minus 4. Okay, well, okay, that's about it. That is about it. And then we also have, there is a sentence of how you should approach, counting. There are some rules to it, which operation goes first. So first of all, we have parentheses, and these are basically brackets. So first off, we start with the brackets, and then we go to exponentials. If we have any, you don't know what exponential is yet, or maybe you do, but we will go to that another time. Then you have multiplying and dividing, and lastly you do subtracting and adding. So if you have an equation, if you have multiplying and dividing, you will start with that, and only then you will go to adding and subtracting. If you are not sure where you should start, always start from left to right. If there are like no rules that would like help you on what to do. Okay, wonderful. So let's just go to some examples of what multiplying basically is. I will take a piece of paper. Okay. Let me tell you an example. If we have 2 divided by 2 plus 3 times 4, we will start with the 8 divided by 2, and only then we will do the 3 times 4. The reason for that is because they are like of the same importance, that we would not be sure where to start basically. But if we are following the rules, we will go from left to right, and that is why we will start with 8 divided by 2. Okay, perfect. So now let's just go to some basic calculations. We will do multiplying, and we will start with something very easy, okay? So we will do the number times the number. So basically, yeah, exponentials. So we have 1 times 1, which is 1, correct? Then we have 2 times 2, which is 1, 2 plus 1, 2, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4. Then we have 3 times 3, so we have 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 2, 3, 3 plus 3, 7 plus another 3, because we have it 3 times. So we have the 3 one time, second time, third time, 9, 4 times 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. These unfortunately are really helpful if you just memorize them, because if you just would go every time with these calculations it would like take you so long to kind of get the result. So it's always best to just kind of memorize those numbers. Okay. Then we have 5 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that's 25. 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times 5. 6 times 6. 6. 12. 18. 24. 30. 36. Then we have 7 times 7, which is 49. 8 times 8 is 64. Oh, sorry. 8 times 8, 9 times 9 is 8, 9 plus 18 plus 9 is 27 plus 9, 36. Let's simplify it. It's 81. We have 9, 9, 18, 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. Basically it's 45 plus 36 if you want to do it more easily, because we have this is like 5 times 9, and this is plus 5 times 4 times 9, which is this plus this. 30 plus 40 is 70, and 5 plus 6 is 11, so it's 70 plus 11, which is 81. This is the easiest way not to go over and over, and just maybe even if you would do 3 times 27, 3 times 2 is 60, and 3 times 7 is 21. 60 plus 21 equals 81 again. Okay, so it's best to just know these from the top of your head. So that is multiplication. Multiplication. Wonderful. Okay, so now let's just do some, I don't know, maybe one. I will give you some examples, and you try to get the right result. Okay, so we have 1 times 5, 8 times 6, 7 times 4, 2 times 12, 3 times 8. Okay, let's try those. So 1 times 5, also 121 times 0. So 1 times 5 is 5. 8 times 6. It doesn't matter if you do it like 6 times 8, if you count 6 8 times in a row, or if you do it the other way and you 6 times count and add to one another the number 8. So let's say we know that 8 times 8 is 64. So we basically can even do it like this: 64 minus 2 times 8, which is 16, and that is 48. Let's go next. 7 times 4, 28, correct. 2 times 12, 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times 2 is 4. 20 plus 4, 24. 3 times 8, 8, 16, 24. Again, 121 times 0 is still 0 because of the rules that we set in the beginning. Hopefully that makes sense. Great. So we have this. Now that we have this basic mathematics, we will try something a little bit simple multiplication. We will try something that is a little bit harder, and that is multiplying 2-digit numbers with 1-digit number. So let's say we have 86 times 5. Let's say, for example, we will actually write it a little bit differently. I will show you how. We will write it like 86 times 5. Even if you had 5 times 86, it is always better to write the larger digit on top, basically, okay? And then, only then you will write the smaller number. So now we have it like this, written under one another, one beneath the other. Great. Sorry for that. It's my first time actually doing mathematics in English, so that is why it might be difficult for me to try and explain some of the phenomena and stuff. So we have 5 times 6. We always write it right underneath the result of the number. So we have 5 times 6, which is 30. So we'll write 0 because this is the last number that we have, and we will carry the number 3 from the 30. Maybe in our mind, maybe you can write it on top, just to make sure that you do not forget it. I usually carry it just in my head, but sometimes if the mathematics is too difficult for you, it can be actually easier to just write it down. Then we have 5 times 8, which is 40, but we still carry the number 3, so it will be 40 plus 3, and that is 43. So it's 430. And if you just want to do it from the top of your head and you do not want to write it down, you can just ask yourself how many times is 5 times 8 is 40. Since this is basically 80, you will have to add another 0, which is 400. And then we have 5 times 6, which is 30. This time it is just like one-digit number, so we do not add another 0. So you have 400 plus 30, 430. This way you do not really have to write it down or use a calculator. You can just do it from top of your head if you are bold enough. And yeah, so let's do another number, which is going to be 74 times 3, for example. So we have 3 times 4, 12. We carry the number 1, and then we have 3 times 7, which is 21. 21 plus 1 is 22. If you want to, you can again do 3 times 7. 3 times 7, which is 21. Plus again we carry the 0 here, so it's 210. And then we have 3 times 4, which is 12. So it's 210 plus 12, and that is 222. Then we can have maybe 64 times 73, and this will get more difficult because we have 2-digit numbers. So we first start with the bottom one, on the right, and we will do 3 times 4, which is 12. We carry 1, and 3 times 6, that is 18. 18 plus 1 is 19. And when we do the second digit, the frontal one, we will start one place to the side. So here basically under the number 9 there will be nothing. So 7 times 4 is 28. So we carry the number 2, and 7 times 6 is 42. 42 plus 2 is 44. So we have 0, 0. There's basically 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 9 is 17. So we carry number 1 in our head. Then we have 4 plus 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. And then we have 4. So the result is 4,672. So we suddenly got into a absolutely different league, different numbers, much higher, much more difficult to do. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't have a calculator and all you have is a pen and paper. What is higher probability? Let's be honest, but it's really good to do those even as a prevention of your basically of Alzheimer. It's always good to kind of train your brain to give it kind of challenges that it can do. Otherwise you will get stuck and it's no fun for anyone, really. It gets harder for you to think as you age, progressively harder. So definitely trying to do mathematics, or maybe doing a crossword. Is it a crossword? This can be really helpful actually. So let's continue and we will try maybe 121 times 34. So we have 4 times 1, 4, 4 times 2, 8, 4 times 1, 4. Now we will start again one of the spaces to the left, 3 times 1, 3, 3 times 2, 6, 3 times 1, 3. Now we have 4. 3 plus 8 is, 0 plus 4 is 4. 3 plus 8 is 11. We carry number 1. 6 plus 4 is 10. Plus 1 is 11. We will carry number 1 to the front. 3 plus 0 is 0, plus the 1 we carry, so it's 4,114. Great. So we've got that as well. Okay, so that we have 2-digit numbers, 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers. Anything else? Let's try. This might be really hard to do from the top of your head, but if you want to, you could do it 3 times 121, which is 363. 363. And since it was basically 30 times, it would be 3,630. And now we will do the 4 times 121, which is 480 and 4 and 3,630 plus 484. If we have 3,600 plus 400 is 1,000 again, so that is 600 and 400 gives 1,000, so 3,000 plus 1,000 is 4,000, and now 30 plus 84, and that is 114. Yeah, 114, and that is why it is 4,114. This is how you could do it from the top of your head. Again, it might be too difficult though, at least in the beginnings. So hopefully you found this helpful, and we will see another time again at another lesson where we will try dividing. So yeah, it could be fun. If you want to see it, just let me know and I will do it. And if you're not interested in those kind of lessons, no worries. I just thought it could be good to combine something useful and also, or useful, yeah, useful for your brain, definitely useful, and also relaxing. So maybe it's even something that you didn't know how to do it. The little hack that you can do from top of your head. I actually learned it myself because it was much easier for me. Or it made sense to me. When I was in primary school, we were just doing, the counting one underneath the other. But I found that this was much easier for me to do it, to just divide it to a certain number so that it is easier for me to count it. Yeah, but I was a little bit of a nerd also, yeah, and I spent time after school, like when I was in the first, second, third, fourth grade, just how to say it, like marking the tests of other pupils with the teacher, because she believed in my skills. So I spent that time after, not because I had to, but because I wanted to. Yeah. All right. Have a wonderful rest of the day or night, or even sleep if you're already sleeping. So, bye.